Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our latest online event, part of our ongoing program that's called the Admitted Student Webinar Series. My name is Ricky Hill, and I'm the e-recruiter at the University of California, Merced. Thank you so much for joining us. What we'd like to do at this time is to go ahead and give our participants and attendees just a moment to get logged in with us, and then we will start our presentation momentarily. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this latest online exclusive event, part of our ongoing program that is called Admitted Student Webinar Series. My name is Ricky Hill, and I'm the e-recruiter at the University of California, Merced. Our event today is focused on the School of Engineering, and it is a meet and greet with one of the academic advisors named Karla. At this quick time, I'd like to go ahead and give you a few tips to participate with us. In the lower left corner, you'll see an option to adjust your audio settings. If you need to do so, you can go ahead and click on that option. A dialog box will appear on your screen, and you can make those adjustments as you see fit. If you would like to adjust the size of your window, in the upper portion of your screen, you should see an option that does say View Options. You'll go ahead and click on that, and you'll get, again, a few options so that you can adjust the size of your window on your screen, either full size or something smaller to your preference. Lastly, we definitely would like you to join us in the question and answer panel. To do that, you can just click on the Q&A button. Once you do so, you'll see another box appear on your screen where you can type in your question and send that over to us. We will go ahead and either answer that question through the Q&A module within the chat feature, or we will also have an option to answer that live in the live Q&A session. At this time, I would like to just welcome you again. My name is Ricky Hill, the e-recruiter at UC Merced. I would like to hand this over to my colleague, Kia.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Ricky. My name is Kia Tan. I'm our Associate Director of Diversity Engagement and Transfer Initiatives in the Office of Admissions. I will be assisting with the Q&A panel as well today. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over now to my colleague, Michelle.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Michelle Rapay, the Director of First Year and Undeclared Advising in the Bobcat Advising Center, and I'll be answering questions behind the scenes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alan Reynolds. I am an academic advisor in the Bobcat Advising Center, and I will also be answering your questions behind the scenes, and I will hand it off to our presenter, Karla.
Thanks, Alan. So welcome, everyone. My name is Karla Gonzalez. I am the Manager of Undergraduate Advising for the School of Engineering, and I'm also the Transfer Advisor. So I have to preface this with this presentation we'll have some portions that are transfer specific, but I will let you know when that's happening. All right, so let's get started. So just as a general thing, I wanted you guys to know that UC Merced offers a well-rounded education. For the School of Engineering, it offers both a theoretical and a practical orientation, or both practical and theoretical. It's very hands-on. There are a lot of your courses that you'll be taking from your second year all the way through to your very last year that are laboratory components. We do have a lot of state-of-the-art equipment. As you know, UC Merced is continuing to grow. And so as part of that, we are starting to get more and more newer and newer labs, and the equipment that goes into there is all new, brand new equipment. Some of them has barely been unwrapped, and some of them are going to be unwrapped. So great opportunity for you to grow with that. The program in engineering is designed to allow you to have the hands-on approach, and most of the majors outside of computer science and engineering require you to do what's called a component capstone design. And so what that is you work with either a faculty member or someone else, and you kind of build something that responds to a question that that particular individual may have. So it can be a faculty member, it can be some sort of partner on campus, or it can actually be some sort of company that asks a question specific that needs an engineer to solve it. The other way that you get involved on campus is that you do undergraduate research. So it's simple as approaching a faculty member and saying, I'm really interested in what you currently do, and I would like to get involved more with what your current research projects are. How do I do that? And typically you'll get assigned units, or you get paid for the position, but the real way that you do it is that you get units assigned to it and it becomes part of your curriculum. So those are all great ways for you to have a well-rounded education at UC Merced. So let's take a look at the majors. Each program is unique and has different areas of study. So here are the 5 majors that are currently available to all of our incoming students. As a transfer student, these are your 5 choices pretty much. And we can talk about that a little bit later on. But your 5 majors are bioengineering, computer science and engineering, environmental engineering, material science and engineering, mechanical engineering. The School of Engineering only offers 1 minor, which is the Management, Analytics, and Decision Making minor, or the MAD minor. So let's take a look at environmental engineering. This is the area of focus at UC Merced. We do water, chemistry treatment, hydrology and climate, geospatial analysis and remote sensing, air pollution control, and sustainable energy. If you come on campus, if you've ever been on campus, you'll notice that we have a huge solar panel field, and that is held and maintained by the environmental engineering and earth system science students. Mechanical engineers. So this is the broadest and oldest and the second largest discipline on campus. It relates to the study and the use of machine and devices. Essentially, what mechanical engineers do is research, develop, design, manufacture, and test tools, machines, and other mechanical devices. On campus, this is your foundation. So your foundation for a mechanical engineer is built upon design. So it's always that you're going to design something at the end of it. But the 4 main areas that we focus on are your fluid mechanics, your solid mechanics, your thermodynamics, and your dynamics. Along with that, once you have your foundation courses taken, then you'll be able to select technical electives. And those technical electives can be anywhere from the unmanned aerial systems to other courses that are more specific to a direct field. Computer science and engineering. So computer science and engineering has a diverse range of disciplines: artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, database systems, graphics, networks and distributed systems, manufacturing, and robotics. And those tend to be the big main areas that we focus on at UC Merced. The way that computer science and engineering is designed is that you are given a lot of flexibility to choose your classes. Your major requires you to take 20 units or essentially 5 courses of technical electives that are specific to computer science. So that can vary, and each semester new technical electives come out. And then your major also requires you to have 10 additional units, and it can be more computer science classes, or you can expand past that and kind of just also see what other courses are offered through the School of Engineering that you can take on that point. So computer science at UC Merced, this is kind of a little bit of what they do. So it's a very interdisciplinary and collaborative sort of field. So one of the things that they do is they have this agricultural, approach to it, where they'll send out robots, and the robots will be measuring the water levels out in the fields, and they'll let the farmer know if the field needs more water, it needs less water. So it tries to do quite a bit of different collaborations along the way. And so here are a couple of other areas for computer science and engineering. Material science and engineering. It's from atom to appliance. Its MSc applies fundamental principles of physics, chemistry, and biology to the design and production of materials with desired combinations of mechanical, optical, electrical, magnetic, electrochemical, biocompatible, and other properties. So material science and engineering really focuses on 3 main areas: sustainability, nanotechnology, and biomaterials in biomedicine. If you have the opportunity to ever speak to Professor Viney, please speak to him about material science and engineering. He is a great resource for this major. Bioengineering. So the research areas in bioengineering are biomolecular engineering and biophysics, cell biophysics and engineering, biomedical imaging, and molecular and cell cardiology. So we do have some live labs within this department. And so I wanted to talk about what's coming up for you in the next couple of weeks and what the plan is for us. All right, so next steps, if you haven't SIR'd yet, please make sure to SIR by June 1st. Within a couple of days, you'll receive your UC Merced email address, which tends to be the main way that we communicate with you. So please make sure once you receive it that you check it on a regular basis. It's very hard for us to determine if it's you who we're talking to or not. So we make sure that we communicate with you via your UC Merced email address. You'll receive welcome emails from the chancellor, an email about phishing from IT. So please make sure to read that thoroughly. We never ask you for any of your personal documentation or anything like that. So please make sure to keep that in mind. And then you'll get a welcome email from me for the transfer students. In School of Engineering, you get a welcome email from me. For the first year students and undeclared transfer students, you will get a welcome email from the Bobcat Advising Center. Again, June 1st, it's a big deadline on campus for us. There are other documentations that you may have to fulfill along the way, maybe financial aid or something like that. Please make sure to meet all of their deadlines as soon as possible. If you're not sure what you're missing, check on your portal. So your my.ucmerced.edu, you have a checklist there and it will tell you what you're missing or not. If you're not sure, if you submitted something, you're like, it hasn't been checked off, just be a little patient with them. If you're really worried about that, you're welcome to contact the registrar's office or the Students First Center and just kind of ask them if it's been received. So sometimes it does take a couple of days for things to be checked off once the university receives it. All right. So this is very specific to my transfer students in the School of Engineering. So for those of you who have SIR'd by the 26th, which was yesterday, within the next week, I will be emailing you with information regarding articulation. So in my email, I send you a copy of what your audit is. Your audit is just a condensed version of your catalog. I'll show you guys how to sort of pull that a little bit later. But I send you your audit. On there, you'll see that we'll start having the conversation of what articulation is. So if a course shows up on your audit as equivalent to a course, no worries there. If a course is found but isn't equivalent to another course, but on the side of it, I wrote what the equivalence is, not a problem there. The ones that we really need to focus on for articulation purposes are the ones that I tell you, it's not articulated. You need to submit a petition, or can you give more information here? I'll show you guys sort of what I'm talking about in a little bit. But note that that is coming. For those of you who SIR'd after or on or after yesterday, I'll get to you guys. I'm just working on the first people as I go. So it might take a little bit longer than a week, and that's why I didn't say within the next week. But you should be receiving an email from me as well. And again, this is just for our transfer students. You're always welcome to visit my degree path and see what your audit looks like and what all the requirements for your major will look like. So I end up sending you a list of courses to enroll in sometime between June 15th through the 20th. Around then, and then you'll be enrolling in courses, and this also applies for our first year students. You'll receive your suggested course list sometime between June 15th and the 20th. You'll be enrolling in courses on June 22nd for my transfer students. First year students, you'll be enrolling in shortly after that. All of you will be assigned a time ticket, and you can check that on your portal as well. For my transfer students, I know that the schedule of courses currently looks full. So there's some courses that you're like, I know I have to vitally take this class, but it's currently closed. If you're not, we saved some seats for you guys, but we haven't posted them because we don't want other students to think there are seats available and they can take them up because they can't. So I do have some seats saved for the transfer students that are vital for you to continue on your program. So I will email you that link as well. I'm not sure when I'm going to email you that, but it will be emailed to you guys. So this is what my email looks like for the articulation. It's pretty long, so I will ask you guys to read through it all. I will tell you guys if you're missing things, I always highlight things in color to make sure that you know what you're missing. As I mentioned, if something looks similar, looks like it's already been articulated, don't worry about it. But there are times where I will put a box and say, I need you to tell me if you fulfilled this somewhere, or did these courses don't equal it to this course, or I will tell you, I'm not sure, we need to submit something. So with that, most of them will be red boxes that will tell you, okay, here, I need you to help me figure out what's going on here. For example, the American History and Institutions requirement, if you went to a high school at excuse me, in the US and have done a combination of United States history and government, then you'll most likely have completed that. But because you're a transfer student and sometimes the university doesn't require your high school transcripts for certain reasons, I don't know that you have it completed. So I'll tell you, okay, you have to tell me if you've submitted your high school transcripts. Then we can look into it a little bit more. If not, we'll go into the discussion of, okay, you're missing this class, how do we complete it? So I mentioned that there is My Degree Path. So My Degree Path is also found on your portal. Like I said, it's a condensed version of your catalog, and you're welcome to take a look at it at any point or time. So it is a 4-year graduation plan for our first-year students, and it tends to be a 2.5 to 3-year graduation plan for our continuing students. So you are able to click on the plans button, which is this very top button right here, and start creating something for it. Please take note that for your catalog year, it is not available yet. You'll be able to play with it a little bit closer to the beginning of fall semester than currently. So right now, if you go on there and you start selecting a plan and you start building your graduation plan, it will not be accurate until we update it to the newest version for your catalog year. And so just kind of know that. To look at that audit, you'll be requesting an audit. You want to make sure that the program that you've selected is there. So this will always be your current major. If you want to select a different program, you would select a different program. Just make sure to type in the right catalog year, which for all of you will be fall 2020. And then you run your declare program. And then it'll pop up for you and it'll kind of tell you what all your requirements are at. All right, that's all sort of that I have. Are there any questions? Nope.
Hi, Karla. I think we have one question that Michelle would like to answer live. We had a student who asked about, are there AI, cybersecurity, or specialty internships for computer science and engineering majors? Also, what's the difference between a degree in computer science and engineering compared to just a computer science degree?
Okay. Can you repeat that question? There was a lot to it.
Absolutely. It was a few sentences there. Okay. So are there AI, cybersecurity, or specialty internships for computer science and engineering majors? And also, what's the difference between getting a degree in computer science engineering versus just a computer science degree, no engineering?
All right. So there are two different questions there. So the AI question, yes, there are definitely internships and you can work with faculty members that also will work on AI on campus. There's also some faculty members through the School of Social Science, Humanities, and Arts that work on remote sensing as well, that's similar to AI. So definitely ability for you to get involved on campus, but if you're looking for internship opportunities, the best way to approach it is to talk to the Career Center and to have the career specialist, Elizabeth Ateliano, help you build your resume and look for those internship opportunities so you can apply. Most of our internships will be during the summer while you're not taking coursework, and they will be at whatever location you have been accepted to. So the second question is, what's the difference between computer science and engineering and computer science? So computer science focuses a lot on software and only on programming. And that's the main focus of it. Computer science and engineering has that hardware aspect to it as well. So you'll have the hands-on approach to certain questions along the way. And you are required to do that heavy math, that heavy physics type of courses, whereas computer science does not require that at that level. So computer science, a lot of just programming, computer science and engineering, hardware and software.
Thank you, Karla. Another question, which I think we've been getting a lot, is do you know if the university has determined if we'll be holding courses online or in person in the fall?
At this moment, we do not know. So they are currently looking at different approaches to the fall semester. I know that that's sort of what they're looking into, and that they hope to be able to tell us something and to announce it to the whole entire university, hopefully by the end of June.
Awesome, thank you. Next question is there a mechatronics course at UC Merced? Can the capstone project be based on mechatronics, or the school decides what is I'm trying to read this question, I'm sorry. Or the school decides what is our capstone project based on? Oh, so I think they're asking, or what does the school decide the capstone is based on?
So yes, there is a mechatronics course that's available as a technical elective. It's typically held in the spring semester, so you're more than welcome to take it. Capstone is group-based, so there are faculty members who put together the groups. What they end up doing is they send you an email saying, okay, you are in Capstone 193 for the fall semester, which is, so Capstone's 2 semesters long. 193 and 194. And so the first semester they end up emailing you and telling you, okay, you are a mechanical engineering student. We need you to kind of tell us what areas of interest you have. And they'll utilize that to pair you with other people who are interested in the same area. So you do a questionnaire and they end up building your group around that. Typically, I haven't heard too many students want to switch groups. But typically they do it so well that it's sort of in your area of interest.
Awesome. Next question. Will there be classes we can take over the summer at UC Merced, since my school will not have the specific class over the summer for a transfer student?
Yeah, definitely. It depends on where you're at in the process and what your major is, but there are some courses available for students to take it, especially for my mechanical engineers, if you're interested in that, environmental engineers, computer science engineers. There may be a class or two that you can take. It's harder for my bioengineers because there are no bioengineering courses available. So that would be the only major that I'd say we have to look and see what you want to take. And then we can talk about it a little bit more. When I email you within the next week or so, you can email me back and say, hey, I'm really interested in taking summer courses. Or if you want to get a head start and just email me and say, I'm interested in taking summer courses, can you take a look at my file and let me know what you're thinking or what courses you would recommend? I'd be more than willing to, even if you are thinking about taking classes at your local community college and you're indecisive between that, please feel free to reach out and let me know, and I can definitely advise you on that. The same process goes for my first year students, or the first year students, excuse me. If you want to take summer courses, please reach out to your Bobcat advisor or the Bobcat Advising Center and just ask them what the recommendation would be.
Another transfer student here. I applied for environmental engineering. However, since then, I've decided I'd like to change over to mechanical engineering. How hard is it to switch majors?
So within the School of Engineering, not that hard. Changing majors to the School of Engineering or outside of the School of Engineering, there are certain criteria that you have to meet. The School of Engineering at this point is revamping their change of major criteria that will apply to you guys. We were hoping to have it published already, but it's still in the work in progress. So switching within the school, not that hard. Just email me, let me know. I'm planning on switching between this environmental engineering to mechanical engineering. Here's my ID number, just so that you know, and we'll work through that process.
And then a student is asking specifically again about, does computer science and engineering cover a general aspect of software and hardware? And does computer science focus on a more deeper understanding of software engineering?
So yeah, we do a lot more of programming on this campus. So a lot of our classes will be programming based. So you'll have some software classes. You have about 2 or 3 classes that you'll take around software specifically. I'm sorry, hardware specifically, and then everything else will be software.
All right. You're getting a lot of questions, Karla, so this is awesome. How would I go about the process of choosing a double major?
As a transfer student or as a, so that would be my question, transfer student or a first year student? If you're a transfer student, very unlikely for you to be able to get a double major. There's a lot of specific requirements to it, but typically the big thing that will stall you is that you'll want a major that's so similar to your current major that you can't do it. So there's certain majors that you cannot do. For example, applied mathematics with a CSE emphasis and CSE. You can't do both because they're too overlapping. And typically, if you're trying to do something, two majors that aren't that similar, you won't meet the timeline for it. So it's harder as a transfer student to do a double major than it is for a new first year to do it. Your timeline, you can work with your academic advisor there to kind of figure out how to do that double major. In general, doing an engineering degree with a double major is pretty tough, but you can do it. It's just that we have to plan it ahead, and you have to talk to your academic advisor and make sure that everything that you're taking is specific, is for a reason.
Thank you. And are there any computer recommendations specifically for mechanical engineering majors? And then I'd open that up to just for any majors within the School of Engineering, any specific types of computers.
So there are specific computers that we recommend, and it's not like we're recommending Apple versus a Dell or whatever it is. It's more of the processor speed and everything like that. It's available. So we have a recommendation of what to get. One thing that I know that you shouldn't have as an engineering student is a Chromebook. Those really don't allow you to run the programs that you need to have. So you can have different computers. It's just the settings, the components that need to vary. A whole entire list of that is available on the engineering advising website. And we do require our students, we do have a laptop policy on UC Merced. So we do require all the engineering students to have a laptop, and that policy provides you with those specs. So feel free to look it up. It's also on the engineering advising website, or I can link it a little bit later on.
Thank you. Are there any maker spaces or spaces students can design and build ideas?
Yes, so there are a lot of spaces in where if a student is part of an organization or if a student is working in a laboratory, they're welcome to work in like the machine shops. We have 3D printers, things like that. You do have to be trained for all of that, and you do have to get your certification to be able to utilize the machines, but you do have the ability to go in and utilize them once you have your certification. We actually are opening up our second machine shop on campus in the fall semester. So that would be a great ability for students to go in and kind of work on their own projects.
Awesome. And then is there any professional organizations on campus for students to work on projects over the semester?
Oh yeah, there's a lot. There are quite a bit. So the way that we have it in the School of Engineering is that there's an umbrella organization called Vanguard. And if you look up Vanguard at UC Merced, you'll see the full list of organizations that you can participate in. Some of them are culturally based, some of them are project-based organizations, and some of them are based, and some of them, and we do have a couple that are like Beta Tau, that are honor society. So feel free, look them up, join them. They work on a lot of different projects along the way. So please, we highly recommend you join.
And then Karla, what type of robotics aspects are available in the mechanical engineering major or just in the engineering major or school as a whole?
All right, guys, I am not an engineer. Just throwing it out there, I'm not an engineer. I'm an advisor for the engineering students. So I know that we have robotics, and I know that we do have some faculty that work with, that do like that field processing. We do have some faculty that work with other individuals who are medical devices and things like that. But specifically in robotics, I know we have it. I'm just not I can't tell you specifically what it is, but I can guide you to a faculty member who will help you with that. So if you have that specific question and you know specifically what you want, email me. I will point you in the right direction.
Thank you. Let me see. Oh, I am interested in renewable and sustainable energy. I know UC Merced offers environmental engineering. However, can mechanical engineering students also cover this interest?
Oh, definitely. Yes. Yes. So a lot of your classes between environmental engineering and mechanical engineering tend to have the same foundational courses. So where it differs is where your technical electives are going to be and your upper division courses. So for my mechanical engineers who want a little bit more sustainability, there is quite a bit within your program as well. But if you want something that's specific to the environment, and you want to do air quality control, something like that, then you could take environmental engineering courses towards your technical electives, where you have to take about 3 classes for that. So you could take those 3 classes, environmental engineering, petition it to see if those can count towards your mechanical engineering degree, and there you go.
Awesome, thank you. And another specific question, and maybe you know it, I don't know it because I'm not an engineer either, but what type of coding languages do they learn in CSE?
So I know that they learn C++, they learn Java, they do so Java, C++. I know there's a little bit of Python in there thrown in as well. So those are the 3 main ones that I know that are part of that. And so those tend to be your intro courses that you'll end up doing that. So that's.
Awesome. And then do you know of any of the organizations on campus that do a lot of hands-on projects that you might be able to recommend?
It depends on what you want. So they do have, there's some of the orgs do competitions, and some of them just work project based. So it depends on what you want. If you want to work with cars, then they have the race car that that you can work on. There is also the rockets. So there are some organizations that work towards that. And there's some organizations that just have general kind of things. Like I know that NetSpeed does student outreach a lot. And so they go to the high schools quite a bit. So does SHIP, Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. On campus, they're called Ingenieros Unidos. And so it really depends. Look on that website. Look on Vanguard's website, and it'll get a full description of what the organization is all about. And it also gives you a contact person.
Awesome. And then are there college fairs on campus or any networking opportunities for CSE majors or other engineering students?
So college fairs, are you, I'm going to assume that you're
not college fairs. I meant job fairs. I said college fairs.
Yeah, there are quite a bit of career fairs. Like I said, Elizabeth Ataliano is a great resource for you. She is our School of Engineering career advisor, and she's done a great job of bringing people on campus. And so she's brought people like Google and other companies on campus. And she hosts, sometimes she'll have them host like workshops. Sometimes she'll have them do resume reviews. Sometimes they'll kind of host different things, meet and greets, things like that. And then along the way, you also are able to give them your resume, but there is huge career fairs as well throughout the semester. There's, I think, one in fall and one in spring semester, and then you can participate in that and go down the line and kind of start talking to people. But once you get on here and you kind of get more involved, please feel free to go to any and everything that is career related that you're interested in.
Thank you, Karla. And then can you talk a little bit about what types of tutoring services are available for STEM students?
Yeah, sure. So there's quite a bit available to you guys. I'm going to try to remember them all. So there's PALS, which is the Peer Assisted Learning Center. I'm going to get that wrong, but there's PALS that does quite a bit. There's a STEM Resource Center that does quite a bit, and all these host classes in mathematics, in your physics, in your chemistry. For my upper division students, it's a lot of you figuring out with other students, you making your own study group. But for my lower division students, there's PALS, there's STEM Resource Center, there's the Chemistry Center, there's the Math Center available to you. And I don't know if I'm missing any. So I think that's all the 4 that we currently have on campus. And Michelle or Alan will come online and tell me if I'm missing something. Nope, I think I'm good.
Awesome. Let me see. I think that's pretty much it for our questions. I think the last question I have for you is it possible to pick up a minor in a different school, or does it have to be from the same school you're in?
You can pick up a minor any point or time. So both for changing majors, declaring a double major, or adding a minor, you do have to have a GPA. So that means you can't declare it your very first semester. You have to wait till your second semester to declare or change majors. So just keep that in mind. But if you're interested in something, we can work towards it.
Awesome. Thank you, Karla. And then I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen really quick so that way I can share the last few slides of our PowerPoint with all of you. So first, I want to just say thank you to everybody who participated in today's webinar. And this session is recorded, so all of you will be able to access it on our admitted.ucmerced.edu webinars website, and you'll be able to review any of that information. Just a few upcoming events in the near future for anyone who's participating who'd like to join. We do have an interactive UC Merced virtual tour that you can participate in this week, as well as a peer-to-peer engineering student chat. So you've had the opportunity now to speak with Karla, who's one of our engineering advisors. You can also speak with current students about their experience and what they're involved in and whatnot. So it's a great opportunity to hear from students. We have a transfer social hour event coming up for transfer students specifically, and then preparing for success at UC Merced, also specifically for transfer students, and what you need to do while you're here to be successful. And again, you can access all of these and how to register for them at our admitted.ucmerced.edu/webinars website. You can also visit our campus for a virtual drone tour if you're interested. You can go to the website that's listed here, and there you'll be able to see 4 virtual drone tours that we've already pre-recorded that are voiced over by our actual tour guides, and it's a great opportunity to kind of get more of a overview perspective of UC Merced. Lastly, these are specifically our transfer advisors, but you can also visit admitted.ucmerced.edu and schedule a one-on-one if you have any questions specifically for an admissions officer. And so you can reach out to us and schedule an appointment with any one of our advisors. The 3 here are specifically our transfer admissions advisors. And then lastly, if you have any questions, general questions or whatnot, you can contact the Student First Center or the Office of Admissions or Financial Aid by calling the number that's on the screen. And then again, for transfer students, you can email transfer@ucmerced.edu or admissions@ucmerced.edu would be a great email that you can send if you have any questions or any information about your updates about your application and whatnot. So without further ado, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to my colleague, Ricky.
Thank you so much, Kia. And yes, my name is Ricky Hill, and I'm the e-recruiter here at the University of California, Merced. A big thank you to all of our expert panelists today, including Kia, Alan, Karla, and Michelle. This has been a great event, very informative as usual. And as Kia mentioned, this was a recorded event today, so you will be able to find this within a couple days to a week on the Admitted student website. I can give you the direct URL, which is admitted.ucmerced.edu/webinars. Again, it's admitted.ucmerced.edu/webinars. This event has been part of a larger program that we're calling the Admitted Student Webinar Series. So it has been going on for quite some time. We have dozens and dozens of other events that have happened in the past since about the end of March or so. So you can definitely take a look at that website for some previous recordings to check those out, as well as the upcoming events that Kia also touched on. Once again, my name is Ricky Hill, and on behalf of the University of California, Merced, thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day.